you.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Welcome, 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 welcome. This is We the United. Today, we're having a touchy subject. It's about hatred. And, this is something that, I feel like, it goes multiple ways. People don't realize a lot of things about hate and what hate does. And I have a lot of people on here who explains a little bit more about what they feel hate is and how hate has perceived to them. Recently, I've been dealing with a lot of people, and I've been seeing a lot of different things, what I'm saying, and hearing a lot of different things in life. And I've been opening my mind to a lot of things. And when I feel like with hatred, I mean, hatred can be a lot of things. It could be jealousy. It could be, you know, you not wanting me to grow. You know what I'm saying? You wishing for me to fall and to be failing. And I don't understand why, that is something that, you would desire, you know what I'm saying, yourself. But I mean, when it comes to hate, that's something that people don't realize, that shit grows. That shit is here. You know what I'm saying? I know people who won things like elections off of hatred, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to have the idea of it's okay to hate people, it's weird. It's something that I feel needs to be addressed. So I definitely wanted to bring this out to the world and let people know, like, at the end of the day, hate me for what? What do you hate me so bad for? Because you either what, want to feed me? You don't like that I'm doing something that you can't do? You don't want me to be something that's better than what you can be? Because that's the only thing I can think of a reason why a person would hate is because they cannot do, because they don't put their mind to it enough as you. They don't have that backbone. They don't have that foot movement. They don't have that courage, that mindset to keep it pushing to get it done. And then you want to just be mad at somebody else instead of looking inside yourself and realizing that this is not for anyone else to deal with. This is for me to get over, for me to live and me to love. And I'm glad I was able to express my own feelings on this one. This one right here is, I've had a lot of situations, y'all, with this podcast. And it's crazy, you know what I'm saying, how I give this opportunity, but because of hatred, a lot of people are scared to even get on the show. They're scared to even make a voice of being here and being wanted to be here. And it's crazy in all type of ways for me to realize that and realize the reasons why a lot of people say no to being on this podcast, because a lot of people have hatred towards an or community, or a lot of people can't deal with seeing another or being around another or even being associated with. And that's crazy when you think about it. And you have people who are mad because I'm not going to let you just come and say, oh, you want to join this community, if you're not really going to respect that community in the ways that they are. My whole thing is, I've had a lot of straight people who have been willing to want to come on my podcast with no issues. And I've had a lot of people from the other communities that's been varied. But when it comes to a lot of these situations, I feel like a lot of people don't want to be hated, and a lot of people don't want to show their true feelings about a situation. And this is an open space. This is something where we let you be free. We give you that time. We give you that place where you can talk and you can and spread your wings and lift off and clear something off yourself, off your chest. Get it off. I'm in my fourth episode and I'm starting to realize that at the end of the day, everything is not planned for the way it is. I feel like I didn't get everybody to do this interview because I feel like a lot of people were scared to do this one. This one is a touchy one. You know what I'm saying? You have to actually think and get in your emotions a little bit about this one. And it was very emotional for me, y'all. I mean, I've been fighting for so much stuff in my life, and just to understand, the losses that came from fighting. You know what I'm saying? The gains that came from fighting, the victories I won, the victories I missed. It's not just fighting for a community or fighting for uh life. It's more so fighting for myself, fighting for who I am, what I stand for. Why can I be? Why can I? Why can I love myself and be whoever I am without having to worry about a person being so upset to the point their day is curved? Their day is not there for them anymore because they just glanced at me and seen that I was who I was. And you're mad now. That is crazy. Hatred is a disease. Sometimes I take it myself, and people, I just see so many things in the world, and it's crazy how people will say they don't like something, but as soon as they don't like something for real, how much passion they put behind it. Just as the same much of passion as if you put love. So, and my ways of thinking, maybe you hate something because you don't like that you love it. But I'm not going to talk y'all heads off, y'all. I definitely appreciate everybody for joining me and being here for this topic. This is definitely one for the ears, and I just hope y'all like the guests that I have on here. They did a wonderful job, and I want to represent them in the best way I can, and I appreciate them so much for being here and doing this. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to We Are the United. This is our fourth episode. I have a special guest with me who's going to represent the gay community on hatred. And I mean, this is very tough conversations to have with people, but it's something that we have to do. I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
What up, y'all? My name's um, Devon Hendricks. I'm from ATL, and yeah.
Yes, okay. So, thank you for coming on the show. I'm just going to get right into it and just start asking the questions. So, question one: what type of hate do you face?
What type of hate do I face? Um, Standing on a personal experience, I could say I've experienced hate from being a black male, being educated at that, like actually knowing what I'm talking about in a professional setting, so to speak. Um, I've been through small pieces, not too much. I guess I'm fortunate. I haven't been too much through too much hatred on a homosexual level, like gay crimes, gay hate, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've had some experience, but not much. But yeah, definitely experienced hatred from being educated, being boisterous. I do not mind voicing my opinion and just being who I am as a person.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big thing with people getting mad because people have this freedom to say what they got to say. But I never thought about the fact that being educated is also a thing that a lot of people probably would have a problem with because of the fact that they've known our culture to have so much ignorance in the history of it. So that's something new too.
Yeah, I mean, you could say ignorance, but it's really when you stand with a group of people that want to keep a certain group of people down or away from being able to elevate themselves. When they do see that, you'll see that twinge in their eye. They don't like the fact that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm just as knowledgeable as you, probably even more knowledgeable.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay. All right. So we can move on to the second question. The second question is, what are the actions behind the hatred towards you? Like, what is the things that has happened?
I've had small things. I guess I can call them small things now. I look back on them, but I've had managers, try to get me in trouble, writing me up. Um, the looks, the stares, those under the breath comments. But I'm big on addressing that. Like, hey, did you say something? I thought I heard you say something. You feel free to speak. I encourage people to have a voice regardless if I don't agree with what you said. Say what you need to say. Speak, speak with your chest, and then we go from there. So, um, professionally, I've had hatred roll into my job wise. people voicing their opinions to me or to other people. Other experiences of hate, never really been through like having property damage and stuff like that. But typically for me, I've experienced hatred in the workplace and then with other groups that don't agree with my people.
Yeah. I mean, and knowing the gay community does have this big hatred thing where they do have people being abused and all this stuff like that. What you feel about that?
Say that again for me.
I say, you know how the people do have this gay hate crime thing going on. Like, what you feel about that? I know you said you haven't really dealt with it that much, but you don't have like you don't know anybody who has dealt with it or heard anything about it.
I mean, I mean, I'm pretty sure I got a close friend or two that's had to deal with a hate crime. But like I said, I haven't had to sit too close to it other than just hearing a friend tell a story. Not to get into specifics, because not to say I honestly can, just off the top of my head, recall. Um, in the realm or aspect of like homosexuality, now in a realm of hatred for just African Americans, blacks, yeah, I've definitely seen touched on that. Um, not like I said, not personally, or not too much personally. I've had one friend, we were getting food somewhere and they were walking through the parking lot. Somebody wanted to speak through the parking lot, and I guess my friend walking across the parking lot stopped them from doing a little speed off, a little skirt off, and of course they became porch monkey and all this other stuff from there before they could drive off. But like I said, not on a personal level, but been with people. I have friends that have dealt and been through that.
Okay, all right. Okay, so question three is finding a solution. Is there a solution to it?
Is there a solution to hatred? There's always a solution to hatred. I would like to believe. It's just, are the people going to do what they need to do in order to actually get to that point?
All right.
A solution, acknowledge that there's a deficit. Acknowledge that, like, yes, African Americans, yes, homosexuals, yes, trans, they are treated at a lower level. They are thought to be less than. Once you acknowledge where their deficit is, then there's always a solution if there's someone willing to actually step forward and be a person. Be a person and truly advocate for another group. You don't have to advocate for another group. You can advocate for your own group. Hey, y'all, I really feel like we shouldn't be doing this. Or, hey, maybe we should be doing so and so with these group of people, turning the mindset around. So I do believe, I always believe there's a solution. It's just how much work is it going to take to get there, and then who's really going to put in that work.
Yeah.
Let's say you have a million white people. If only 10 people are trying to do the change, you know, that leaves a larger percent, another 99% of people that's really still ignorant and want to hold other people down.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. It definitely makes sense because I mean, you can install what's right, which everybody should know what's right, but I mean, are they going to actually follow
Mm-hmm.
through with it? So,
Follow through with it when people aren't even looking. That's the tough part.
yeah, or even acting like they care. Even the people who have the hate towards them is not even caring enough anymore. So, yeah, it's not a big subject anymore. They're trying to like brush it under the shoulders and like turn the other cheek, but sometimes you can't. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes shit get big
Yeah.
enough where you can't turn the other cheek.
Sometimes you got eventually the elephant in the room has to be addressed.
Yeah, right. Okay, so question number four. Do you share any of this hate?
Do I share hate? No, I don't feel I share hate. Um, Discontent, yeah. Frustration, yeah. But no, I don't hate. I don't share hate. That's not an emotion
Hmm.
or an energy I like to carry within myself. So nah, I'm not gonna hate now. Will I advocate for, the whoever is in a deficit or whoever is being mistreated? Yeah. Will I stand up passionately? I surely will. I will definitely voice my opinion, but no, I don't. I can't chime in with the hate
Yeah,
aspect.
yeah. I mean, I know when I had put that question, and I was kind of like off if should I ask that question, but then I thought about it. I guess I should ask that question because
Yeah.
maybe people don't know that it's another way to do things besides hating people, and that might be something that could be shared through this. And you just basically just did that, and I'm just like, looking like, oh my God, it's like high five, kudos, okay?
Yeah, and then there's people that they rebel. They love to be in that space, that bad negative energy. Some people like to hate. Some people just, oh, that group. Oh no, they're of course, oh, they're taking all the jobs. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
they're coming in illegal. You carry on that hate. That way you can build your own fan base. You can feel relevant. I ain't doing that. I'm good at being my own individual, and I can keep sending love.
Yeah. Okay, so this last question is where it gets really good because this is really based off of you standing up for your community. And it's called addressing the issue. So basically, you're just calling out the actual issue and who is involved in the issue and putting your opinion to it.
So I am I supposed to be calling? You say like me call out an issue within my demographic group.
Yeah.
Not to say that I can call out my specific demographic group on this because I'm pretty sure we're not the ones out there just pushing this mainstream. My biggest thing when it comes to change, especially when it comes to like mainstream for the LGBTQIA community, um, I really don't feel gay males are represented accurately, and that's the change I really would like to come about it. Not all gay males are wearing eyelashes, lipstick, and makeup with a beard,
Yeah.
running around. Half of us are probably working in a warehouse,
Yeah.
just
And you don't even know.
minding our business, just our little 9 to 5. We're not the dainty, out loud, flamboyant gay that people always expect. And that's why I don't like mainstream trying to really, make the gay male the norm. Like y'all advertising, y'all putting out the wrong type of spotlight for the community. If you really want to mainstream gay males, you know, run you some power and just make one of the main characters a gay man. That's more accurate. Like, let's do some change to actually show the accuracy of,
Yeah.
the homosexual lifestyle. I knew nothing about a drag queen until I turned like 20. Like, come on, like kids in school. I'm kind of reserved on that. It's okay, but it's not okay. I kind of teeter in between the middle because nowadays, these kids are smart. Like, they conceptualize and pick up so much more and so fast. So I find it kind of nice and kind of cool to educate kids early, but in school, it can wait. Let the parents introduce them, stuff like that. So that's a change I would like to see that come in the community, not just, or not to say gay men need to change, but how we're publicized in mainstream media because that's not us. Like that's a small percentage of men that they're comfortable in their skin, and that's cool. Let them wear their makeup, let them do what they gotta do, let them be as flamboyant. But that's not the majority of the gay community, and that's what they're putting out there for the world to think that's all we are.
Yeah.
We don't all do ballroom. We don't all J set. We all don't do hair or makeup. I'm a nurse.
Yeah, it's
Do
just
my little
saving
12 weeks and
people.
I go. So
Thank you
yeah,
for your
like
service.
that's the change that I kind of would really like to see, especially when it comes to, like I said, mainstream and just the gay community being out there. Like that is not the gay community. That's a small subset that people can get views off of. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not here for the views. I just want the world to know that I stand strong in who I am, but I don't need to go put on heels and glittery this to say, oh, I'm a man. I'm comfortable in my skin. No, I'm comfortable in my skin right where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm
I
good on it.
mean, by that means you might as well just get naked and walk around if
Oh,
you're comfortable.
see that? Mhm. So
Oh,
yeah, I mean, when it comes to change, yeah, that's the kind of change I would see. More
so
acceptance. Actually, like I said, in my life, I've seen a lot of acceptance for homosexual males. So, just the LGBTQIA community. I don't subscribe to the community because they got a lot going on now. But
can you say that LGBTQIA
IA,
IA?
I call it ABCDEFG.
Because you know what, I'm this is an issue right now that I'm about to address with on this one. Don't people need to stop getting mad at me because I can't say the whole thing. I'm sorry that it is extra two
I
letters
just
added onto it, but it's like it's not something that I know every day. It's not saying I'm disincluding
two
people.
letters and a plus sign. Like, what the fuck is a plus?
You know
That's what's
what?
throwing
I
me. Like,
just I
all
just
right,
started talking to people about this,
who
and
voted for this?
I was going to I was. I was going to identify what that is in one of my next in the next season that I do, because I really want to, talk to somebody who identifies in the actual area. But I know this is my first season, and it's hard for me to get people to do these type of things. But yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like that's LGBT queer Q. I forgot what the I stands for. A is asexual. Plus means I think they're trying to add
Oh, so
pedophile into
they
that
put
shit.
me in there now? Oh my god! I'm an asexual now, so that's crazy. I didn't know that they had asexuals already. So
Okay, yeah. So yes, asexuals are a part of the rainbow.
what?
That's
Because
just
I still consider myself in the bisexual clan, but I am asexual. You know what I'm saying? And I really am. Like I love myself. I can't do anything without looking at myself, and that's crazy that I didn't even know that. And I'm just excluding these people, but I represent for them every time I do a podcast, so they don't have to get on here. That's fine.
But like I said, it's just who voted to make all these changes? Like nobody in the gay community sat down and said, let's add I, let's add an A, let's add a plus. Like ain't nobody do that. Like y'all got a bit too much going on. So I'm just sitting in the background and I'm
Yeah.
going on my business.
Well, I was saying that all these people was technically added into queer. So obviously, if it's not, because I know the non-binaries are technically queer. You know what I'm saying? That's with that.
Yeah.
That's
I
they're in
think
that
queer. I
lane.
think queer was like queer would be like a good general overview word
Yeah.
for just somebody that identifies under that spectrum. Like I'm not even sure if I'm saying this right at this point. It
Yeah.
becomes so the topic has become so sensitive. But
It does. It does.
if
It
you say
does.
queer, that should be enough to say, all right, cool. They're either a lesbian or they're gay or they're
Yeah.
asexual or they're bisexual. They're somewhere in that bracket.
Yeah.
So queer is close enough to me. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly,
Like,
I talked to queer on my first episode to explain the queer community, and I mean, I just was like really shocked that it was
astounded.
so
Yeah,
much.
like you be learning shit. Like, oh wow.
Yeah, I'm like, it's so shocking how I just did not know this stuff. I mean, my first time talking to the trans community was on this podcast. You know what I'm saying? So to hear them saying a lot of stuff, it was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And that's different. But I know you're the second person to come on and represent for the gay community. I don't know what it is about the gay community, but they do not want to represent themselves.
Yeah, it is hard to defend a group that you don't know what you're defending. Like, I guess I defend the rainbow, but I don't know what the I in LGBTQIA stand for. So it becomes too much. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I got y'all back though, but y'all just got a lot going on. Hit me up, friend. Hit me up, friend.
Okay, come on, get on the podcast and give us a little bit more information, please. I thank you.
Yeah, come on, follow me.
I thank you so much for doing this. I enjoyed this 16 minutes of fun and communications. I appreciate you so much.
Oh yeah,
If you want
I
to,
appreciate you for having me.
oh, thank you, of course. If you want to say any last words to people, and then you can leave them with any way to contact you or find you.
Let's see. Well, y'all, for the people, I'ma simply say, always move in love and light. That's what I always say, love and light. Move in love and light, y'all. What Auntie say, when people go low, we go high.
Okay.
So, just keep pushing. Let these adversities, don't let them make you, let them build you. And then from that, you can follow me on IG, Instagram, Snap at underscore it's dot Devon, DUHVON. That's underscore it's Devon. Instagram, Snapchat. You'll find me on Facebook, Huncho Hendricks. Y'all have a good night.
Thank you so much. You have a good one.
Thank you.
Hello, world. Welcome to episode 4. We're talking about hatred. It's a very touchy subject, something I really don't like, but it's something that we have to talk about because it's something that we deal with every day. I have a special guest speaking amongst the trans community, and you can introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Faye. I think
Yes.
I've heard my voice a few times on this platform.
Right, you know what I'm saying? We done became best friends from podcast, y'all. It's okay. It's fine.
Right.
Okay, so we're just gonna go ahead and go in it. The first question is, what type of hate do you face?
Ooh. Mm, okay. Fun story because you're just listening to my voice. I am African American, Black, of course. So we deal with that hate off jump. Um, Prior to my transition, I dealt with gay hate um, from white people and Black people. And on the trans side of things, I haven't really dealt with too much hate, but I have dealt with a little bit. Um, yeah. For sure, for sure. I feel like there's a special place for LGBTQ people who are on that spectrum and are also brown or black.
Mm-hmm.
Um, on a different level, like not only do we have like um, regular white people, I guess you want to say, that hate us, but we deal with a different type of hate from our own cultural communities. And in general, I like to say, the LGBTQ community or LGBTQ plus community, we're a race of our own, honestly, because we deal with a different brand when it comes from our own cultures,
Yeah.
um, especially when you're of color. And
Yeah, a lot of
yeah,
people don't know that the LGBTQ. I found out it's IA plus. I finally
right.
said the whole thing. I was so excited. I was like, I know the whole
I
thing now.
yeah.
Okay, which thanks to this episode, I found out what all of it was. But and I didn't know that the A was for asexual. So
Look at you in
look at
there.
me in there. Who knew that? I'm sitting here ripping the bias. Okay, but yeah, I did. People don't realize that it's still a separation in the groups of the white and the blacks, you know what I'm saying? Or the white
Mm-hmm.
and the colors is still, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
People don't try to shed light on it. It's not as hatred as it is with just a normal hate of it, but it's still
Mm-hmm.
there. It still exists. Like, I mean, the white prides look way better than the black prides. And I mean,
The
it's
fact that there's a separation.
the fact that they announce that is a separation. That's just the craziest thing. And people think it's a good
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like, I mean, but the white pride makes more money than the black pride.
They do, but the black prides are always more fun.
Yeah, and then but the black prides, I feel like they're just really clubbish things, and
Yeah, that's why they're more fun.
yeah,
But the
I like
white
the
pride is
parade.
what gets the regular, like they go through the regular pride month, and
Hmm.
then I know black pride is usually during June. Um, there's actually another one or one that just passed that
Hmm.
happened in
Yeah,
Atlanta.
and that was white pride, and I think black pride is coming up in October, or is it the other way
That is
around?
crazy because here is we've already had pride.
Hmm.
In Arkansas, Black Pride is June. White Pride is like a couple months before. I used to go to regular Pride. I won't say White Pride because that feels weird, but regular Pride is the first experience I ever had. It's nice. It's welcoming. Everyone loves me, wants to touch my hair, type of deal.
Oh my
Um,
god!
I'm just saying, just to give perspective on what it feels like. Oh my God, it's so natural,
All right. Oh my god! How did you get it that fluffy?
They're always Hispanics there, and they're always well represented. They don't really come to Black Pride, which we aptly named Black Pride in June. But those are always a more intimate event. Like you can see all the fundraisers that go on during the regular Pride,
Hmm.
because they've got funding.
Hmm.
And since like Black Pride doesn't really get the same amount of funding, because a lot of Black people don't want to put into that because of the whole Christian values or religious values
Mm.
that they have, and they want to keep away from. A lot of Black people blame slavery for gay Black people, or the spectrum gay people.
When it should have
It's
been here before anything else, just as much as everything else.
truly, there's actually something that I just recently found out.
Yeah.
As far as like trans people go, like I didn't think it went that far back, but
Yeah.
trans people have been around since before Christianity.
Yeah.
Actually,
A lot
like
of it.
we were looked to as like the priests. Um, or priestesses, or the shamans, or
Mm-hmm.
the spiritual leaders
Yeah.
in the communities. We were looked to for advice and things like that. We were known as two-spirited people.
Yeah.
And I
Exactly.
love that notion.
Yeah, I found out about that too. I didn't know that's what they were saying, but by you just saying it now, I know what you're talking about. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
whoa, that does make sense because they don't explain it to you like that, like and
Mm-hmm.
fully, because of course they didn't have trans as a name for people back then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, that makes sense now. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
but
And they came
let's,
to us because we were balanced.
yeah.
Because we understood both of our our genders, like our prior gender,
Mm-hmm.
and what we chose to be,
Yeah.
on a whole other level. It's
Right.
just nice.
Yes. Okay. So, question number two: the
Hmm.
actions behind. What are the actions behind the hatred towards you?
I worked at a restaurant once, in the very beginning of my transition, and my pronouns are very important to me. Though I do know that I live in a southern state and things. I feel like there's like an intro backstory to everything that I say, and it's so annoying. But like I worked at a restaurant, and there was this table that I had, and it was like the first bit of hatred that I've ever or I had to deal with becoming trans, and it was before the moans. I had just said that I was, going to start doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I had set my appointment up and everything, but I had gotten my job prepared for it. They changed my name at work. And so with my tables, I'd let them know my pronouns if need be. Like with children under a certain age, like if they said yes, sir to me, I wouldn't, you know, push it too much because they're beyond the age of needing to know
Yeah.
all of that, or at least coming from me. I don't need to correct a child if that's not the household that they live in. Like if their parents chose to correct them, that was on
Right.
them.
Yeah.
There was this one table I had with teenage children there, and I felt like they were of the mind of being able to recognize different people.
Mm-hmm.
And their mom was there. They were out for dinner with their mom, and she mispronounced me or misgendered me, and it one, it felt bad, but initially I overstepped for her because, or not overstepped, but I overcompensated for her because she didn't know initially. Like before the moms, I I was a little rough in the face ish. Like I had shaved and everything, but I didn't have makeup on or anything. There was nothing alluding to, like I didn't have any titty up top or none of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can understand her, mispronoun or giving me, the improper pronoun. And so I corrected her politely, quietly. And, it was just like I actually just started my transition, and she looked me in my face and just basically said, I don't do that. I don't do those. And yeah, that was fun for me. So all of her food ended up coming out a little bit late, um, or wrong. Um, Mainly because that's how I made sure for it to happen,
Right.
because she had made me pissed off about the fact that she just was gonna blatantly disrespect
Yeah.
me,
I
like
say
for
that
the
she's not gonna
rest
accept
of
you.
that
Yeah.
time. Like she could have just chosen to use my name instead, like my grandmother does, because my grandmother doesn't really recognize my pronouns, and not so much because she doesn't agree with it. It's just really hard for her to remember in general. But this lady, she blatantly continued to call me he, and her children followed suit, um, as well because that's their mom and that's what they're being told to do. So all of their food also came out late or wrong. I mean, it took them maybe about 2 hours to get their food to come out properly, and there was only a salad, a piece, and a burger. Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
Oh yes, those drinks stayed coming out wrong. The only thing I got right with them is once they started asking for water.
Yeah, because you can't mess with water. I mean, unless you
That
spit in
part.
it, you
I mean, I
know.
thought about putting salt in there, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. Outside of that, I really haven't dealt with. anything honestly, and I thought I would deal with a lot more than what I dealt with prior to, because when I was prior to me coming out as trans, I dealt with a lot of hate just walking down the street because I was pretty much a butch queen,
Mm-hmm.
to try to make myself comfortable with myself without transitioning. I was living a lie, but it was a happy lie. I would, get talk shit about walking through Walmart, things like that. But transitioning has been a lot easier on me than for most, and for my past, for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I actually get hit on way more by the same men who will probably be talking shit about me prior
Yeah.
to.
Right.
Hmm.
Okay. So answer. I mean, question number 3. Finding a solution. Is there a solution
Hmm.
to for this situation?
Personally, like, you can't fix people. Like I said earlier, I feel like it's about the same as racism, and you can do your best to try to change someone else's mind, but it's gonna take them wanting to change to do anything. So me personally, I don't feel like it. As far as like protecting my own peace, there are things that you can do without losing your job, or without stepping out of character, in order to so that what they have to think about you doesn't really matter. And that honestly is like the main thing that I feel like is what promotes change, and is letting them know that their opinions don't really sway you. They're not going to move you. They're not going to change your mind, especially when they're coming with hate. Like, you get a better response out of me, on an opinion that I don't agree with, if you come forth, a lot softer.
Yeah. Okay. So question number 4. Do you share
Mhm.
any of this hate?
I don't hate anybody.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I may dislike some people. I may loathe them, which is a strong dislike, but I don't hate anybody. And I really don't really not like people or loathe people. I may not like some of their ways, but yeah, there's not one of those bones in my body. It's a flaw, actually. There's
Yeah.
some people I should hate, but I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
What issue?
Like, so address the issue is basically saying, like, you address the issue to your community, you address the issue to the people who have the hatred towards it, you know what I'm saying? And basically,
Okay,
and just shed light on them and call them out.
I have not done that. I mean, outside of those people with the food, and I mean, correcting them was me addressing it. Um, and I guess I could have told them that I don't like. I do have an issue with that. That is one of my big things, because I hate conflict. So I'd probably avoid the problem. But I've been working on addressing the issue. In my circle, it starts there, with friends and things, and setting boundaries. So yeah,
Yeah.
I could do that.
Well, I can address something for you. If anybody doesn't dislike what the fuck we got going on, you don't like where I look, how I feel, what I feel about my motherfucking self, you can go find your motherfucking ass to another door and walk your ass to another room
Okay.
and sit your ass down in another motherfucking seat and have another fucking time of your life. And don't give a fuck about what I got going on, and I won't give a fuck about what you got going on. Cause I promise
Friends,
you,
you could have told me
yo,
to read.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I can address it for
I
y'all.
feel that.
I can, I can address it for y'all.
I
Okay.
didn't know you just wanted me to read
Yeah,
them.
just call them out. Like, motherfucker, you got me fucked up. Like, at the end of the day, it is
Yeah,
what it is. It is what it is, and it's been
it
said.
is.
And I thank you so much for doing this again. Of course, I want you on all these motherfuckers if I could, but
I would definitely, I promise you, if I could make the time, I would, for sure.
yeah, yeah, definitely. But I definitely have looked in a lot of groups, and I done added a lot of groups. This podcast is now also on Spotify, and it's going to be on multiple other things. And when we do our broadcasting, this time it's going to be on 4 different platforms when we go live. So it's definitely going to be increased. That's a whole nother level to this shit. So yeah,
That is I'm excited for you. That is really great. I made a post earlier today on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it or not. I tried to tag you in it, but I do thank you for inviting me to this platform to be able to speak my mind. That it is really good for me in a way that it's in the way that it's made me feel about myself. Addressing this or addressing the issues that I've addressed, hearing the other opinions on things, has opened up my mind to a couple of things because that what we talked about last time, like I promised you, that was something that I stood strongly behind, and
yeah,
I can understand the viewpoint coming from a parent because I'm not one.
right, yeah. And that's the whole point is just getting other people ideas and views about things and make you like I ain't never think about it like that. I never thought about that.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff that people have said and stated on this podcast um has been definitely like a mind blowing change for me. Like I have not expected for it to be so useful to myself. So I know it's going to be useful to other
Hmm.
people. And then the feedback that I've been getting from the podcast, from people hitting me up and saying stuff. I just posted this big old thing on Facebook about the podcast, and I like tagged everything, every type of community, and everything I could think of to bring people into it. So hopefully, we'll have a lot of more people to do this podcast very soon. So, and also if you know any people who want to get on the podcast, please send them my way because I'm trying to get like I said, I'm trying to get all these podcasts as pre-recorded before so I can start working on my merchandise, which I do have. I just
Hmm.
have to get the logos and stuff ready. And
Because I want to shirt.
yes, definitely, definitely, I'll definitely gonna hook y'all up. And
But,
I have my music stuff that I'm also working on too, because I'm trying to drop my mixtapes. So that is something I need to kind of work on as well. So I'm trying to like get these podcasts all rolled out by, like I said, next week. I'm gonna should have all of them recorded. The only ones I really don't want to record is like the finale and
hmm.
the ones that like I feel like you have to be in that season to really get in that mindset. So
Right.
yeah.
I didn't know you did music, friend. I sing a little bit. I do your background.
Okay, I got a whole studio. So yeah, I went to school to be a music
You make me
producer.
make a trip for real.
Yeah, I went to school to be a music producer, so I know how to do all this stuff. Yeah.
That is fun. I've never been in the studio a day in my life.
What?
Uh, I almost ended up working with Smokey Robinson when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that didn't go well because I just didn't feel right doing gospel music, being who I was at the time and
Yeah.
being conflicted with what I was conflicted with. But all my friends do music and they have studios. I'm just real shy when it comes to singing. My voice is very precious to me,
Oh wow.
and I can speak all day.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to hear you sing out off camera.
Sure. Yes.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
well, thank you for coming on. You want to tell everybody how to reach you?
Sure. You guys can reach me on Instagram slash IG under Faye.Rose. And that's Faye Phae. And you know how to spell Rose, I hope. Um, I'm just saying. You can reach me on Snapchat or most social medias. If you just type in the Phae, you'll see the same face.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this, and I look forward to seeing you for the sit down.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm glad I was able to catch it.
Oh yeah. All right. Hello, world. How y'all doing? Once again, this is We Are the United, episode 4, and we're talking about hatred, which is a big topic. You know what I'm saying? I have with me somebody to speak on the bisexual community. Y'all heard of her voice before. Everybody, You can introduce yourself.
Hi, it's Pusha.
Yes. Okay. So we're just gonna jump right into it. You know what I'm saying? Because this is it has been a lot of conversations with this. Like all the conversations I've had with this one is kind of trying to went over 15 minutes. So let me get to it. The first question is, what type of hate do you face?
I'm sorry, what was
What type of hate do you face?
that? Honestly, I would say, just mostly I've only really encountered hate from females. And it's basically because sometimes females they tend to be intimidated by others instead of just maybe learning something like, if whatever it is that intimidates them, like instead of like trying to apply some of those qualities that they feel intimidated about to themselves, like maybe it could be the way a woman carries herself or the way a woman dresses or wear her hair or whatever. Like I feel like if they could just take from that and maybe try for themselves, and that would make them feel better. Because like a lot of times I can just come into a room and there are women there, and you can almost already feel the bad energy, like before you even open your mouth.
Right.
Um, so yeah, it's kind of just, I guess, yeah, mostly from females.
Okay, so you're saying basically females do a lot of have a lot of hatred towards you, so it's like a what is that? More of a jealousy hatred way.
You could say that.
Okay.
You could say that.
What about
I think
because I mean you are African American. You have ever experienced something like that with African American?
that's really the only people I experienced it from. Like I know that some people like I've encountered some people who are just like rude. It doesn't matter what color you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then but mostly it's black women. Like they're the only people that I see like that'll get online and just tear each other down. Like I'm not pretending like I'm perfect by any means. Like I
Mm-hmm.
haven't done anything wrong. So um but I don't just get online to just, tear a woman down.
Right.
Like I feel like if anything I wanna build this person up because you can already look on like shade room, neighborhood talk, just a few of them on Instagram, and it's like you can see the black people just tearing each other apart in the comments. And then I feel like the hatred that I receive is like mostly from women who dealt with a guy who likes me or they're interested in a guy who likes me. So it really just boils down for that.
Okay. So next question that I have for you is the actions behind the hatred towards you. Like what are the actions that people do when they have these hatred moments?
Um, well, I would say they'll do things like I've had females to try to tell lies behind my back. I mean, like, come on. I think we've all had that, like, pretty much, like, from guys and girls.
Right.
But believe it or not, I had this one chick throwing raw chicken at me when I was working at the chicken plant. She was literally throwing the chicken at me and trying to pretend like it was an accident or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they try to like if they know that certain things are off limits in your relationship, they try to like I guess do things to make it look as though the person that you're with is doing things behind your back when it's actually them trying to, get them to do something. Um, so I've had them to try to go behind my back to do things with guys. Um, like I say, make up rumors, throw some chicken at me. Um,
That's great.
yeah, that's just the name of few. Like I
Yeah.
really don't associate with like many people. And then with my jobs, I just try to steer away from the black females. I'm gonna just be honest, really. Yeah, that's how you put it.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the next question. Finding a solution. Is there a solution to it?
Honestly, I wish I knew. I just try to surround myself like with people who are gonna uplift me, who are gonna motivate me. I know you can't find that everywhere, but I feel like the only solution really is for people to like just love themselves more. Like when you're in tune with who you are, when you love yourself, you don't have time to sit up here and hate on the next person. Like you don't, your mind is not gonna entertain it. Like you're gonna just elevate to your, you know what I'm saying, your higher self, or if that's what you want. But I really don't know what the solution would be other than to have self love first.
Right. Right. I mean, yeah, I get that. I get that. Question number 4. Do you share any of this hate that you see?
Mm, I feel like I have at times, honestly, because just the way things are nowadays, like I wouldn't even necessarily say hate. I think I felt like it's more of an insecurity sometimes where like um it may have been common back in the day because I was listening to a song that was from the 90s, and it was it just made me think like guys are really low, like not just guys, females in general. You know what I'm saying? We don't always talk about what we do, but I'm gonna be honest to say that like the only thing I would feel as far as like about another female, it's only because of what guys have done to me. Like I feel like before it was okay for me to bring my friends around the guy that I was dating. Like I wasn't worried about him going to try to talk to my friend behind my back
Mm-hmm.
or anything like that. I was only, you know what I'm saying? I was more bubbly and trusting person. But then when you have this new day and age of these people who feel like they could talk to your friends, they could talk to your aunties, your mom, your cousins, your sister. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Right.
they don't have any morals. It seems like they don't have any boundaries of where they won't go. So sometimes there have been times where like I was interested in a guy and I was thinking like I don't want to bring my guy around this person because who's to say he's not going to try to talk to this person or get their information or she's not going to try to do it. And I'm not saying that I don't trust my friends. It's just you don't really know how people really are. Like, but as far as like sharing hatred, like I can't say like I necessarily hate them and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe some insecurities that have been brought on by guys, just making it to where like you basically can't trust them alone in the room with your friends.
Yeah. And which is really amongst the whole border though. I feel like that right there is a thing where people, they consider it's like how they say haters. You know what I'm saying? People don't realize haters is part of hatred. You know what I'm saying? People will do manipulated things just to try to have a person, you know, feel some type of way or make themselves feel better. You know what I'm saying? By trying to try to talk to a person who is close to
Mm-hmm.
you and stuff like that, and try to get to people close to you. Yeah, that is definitely something I know a lot of people have that does on. Have you ever did that to somebody?
But talk to somebody that was close to somebody else.
Yeah.
Of course I am. But
Uh,
I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, that was back, you know what I'm saying, when I was, you know what I'm saying,
yeah. Right. When you was
when I was younger, when I didn't have like, when I didn't have the knowledge that I do now. But the thing about it is, the way I went about it, it wasn't like I had the intentions on doing it. Like it was just something that I mean there's no excuse in what I did, but it's just my situation was different. Like I'm not saying what I did was right, but like the situation was it was janky from the start. I'm just say that, but um um I don't ever go out with the intention like some people like, oh yeah, I'm about to bag her and him, and you know what I'm saying. Like I don't have
Right.
that intention. Like
Right.
most of the time, if something ever took place, it's because somebody approached me. And then maybe at that time, something was going on where I felt like, okay, you know what? This person done done something to me. I'm going to get this person back. But I don't just set out to go and just dog people out or just, you know what I'm saying? Like go out there with malicious intent and try to hurt someone because I know certain things like it cuts deep. Like you can say you're sorry a million times and it's never gonna make you really feel the way it was before. Like you can never take that pain back if you cause anybody pain. Like some people really don't care, but yeah, it's like certain things you just can't come back from.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I've done some little, you know what I'm saying, some shiesty shit before. Not perfect, so
Yeah.
I can admit.
Okay. So this,
So what about you?
I mean,
Oh.
we gonna skip, we gonna skip that for the sit down. But question 5 is a time where you can address the people who have gave you this hate and address the issue towards them and say what you have to say towards them.
Is there a time where I feel like I can address that hate with that person?
It's just basically like
Um,
it's giving you the time right now, like on this podcast, address the women because it's the women that you're talking about. Address them, and what would you have to say? How would you address them?
how would I address the women who have shown hatred towards me? Um, I feel that if any woman has shown any hatred towards me, I would have to ask them, like, is it because you met me and there was something that I did to you that you didn't like? Or is it because a guy came into a guy came into your face and told you certain things and you made an assumption or, you know what I'm saying, you prejudged me based off of what they said, or did you just look at me and assume that you knew who I was based off of my appearance? Like I feel like a lot of times women are so quick to judge before even getting the chance to know the next person. Like, but and I would advise them to just take a look in the mirror, look at themselves first, and evaluate what it is that they're not happy about and maybe sit down and write things that they can change about it. And maybe they won't have that outlook on the next person. Maybe they won't project their insecurities or rub that hatred off onto the next person. Because a lot of times women are just, I feel like we're in a fight or flight um position like almost all of our lives. Like a lot of times we have to grow up early. Like we have to take care of our younger siblings or, like take care of our elderly parents or grandparents or whoever in our family may need their help. And it's like we have so much on our shoulders at such a young age. And it's almost like we don't give ourselves grace. So I feel like a lot of times we just don't even sit back and really just appreciate ourselves. Um, I feel like we should just pour into ourselves more, pour love into each other. Like if you have such hatred in your heart towards either you don't know much about me because I'm not that person who's just out to hurt anybody. I've hurt people intentionally before, unintentionally, but my ultimate goal is to just basically make as many people as I can happy that I encounter. I know you can't make everybody happy, but I just wish that the women would just, allow themselves grace, allow themselves to not be okay sometimes, but don't project that hurt on anybody else. Then I would say just, get in tune with who you really are because like I said, when you're working on yourself, when you're growing, you're elevating and getting into the highest element of who you are and you know who your your purpose and you're walking in your purpose, you don't have that time to sit up here and hate on the next person. So I would advise them to do some soul searching and work with themselves. Um, I'm working on myself every day. So I mean, it feels better. Like I feel like more weight is lifted off of me. I feel like the hatred that I have been carrying, not towards women, but the hatred that I've been carrying towards people who've hurt me, I allowed that. So I have to forgive myself, and I'm just learning to forgive myself so that I don't have this hatred in my heart that I project onto others because of what I'm not happy about. So that's all I say.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you for your input. You definitely did a great job. I once again appreciate you for coming on here and doing what you had to do and making your voice known. You know what I'm saying? It's never really hard when we're talking about hatred. It's always really something that a lot of people, look past a different hate. I love that you express this type of hate because it's different than everybody else's. So we definitely needed you and I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me again. And sorry if I rambled on. I'm sorry if I kind of steered away from the topic, but I just try to answer it
Oh
as
no,
best
you
as I
you you
could.
you definitely stick on topic. If there any way you want anybody to reach you, you definitely can let it be known now.
Lachey underscore E on Instagram. Um, I don't even remember my Twitter handle. On Facebook, my government name, Erica Robinson. No K. Yeah, that's about it. And thank you again.
You're so welcome. All right. Any last words you want to say to anybody?
I would say just live every day like it's your last. You don't have to live by anyone else's standards. You don't have to live by anybody else's time frame. Like what your goals are or your goals. Don't let anybody else interfere unless they're there to help you, to elevate you. Cut off any distractions. Like it may be friends, it may be certain hobbies that you have that you don't even realize are distractions. But I encourage them to do some soul searching. So those who are lost, like myself, or trying to find our path and live in our purpose, right? Just find things that help elevate your mood, your spirit. Just overall work on your well-being. Not just leave it at that. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Cool, cool.
All right. Hello, world. How y'all doing? Welcome back to you. We the United. This is episode 4. We're talking about a topic that is kind of touchy, but it's something that has to be said. So we're talking about hatred, y'all. I have a friend with me, and he's going to represent for the queer community today. So therefore, I want you to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Mikey Starr. I'm a young cosmetologist, dancer, and government IT worker for Washington, D.C. Um, what can I say? This is the place where you either go to law school or you're a doctor. So, yeah.
Oh, that's good then. I need to probably got done go move up there so I can find me a doctor. Oh, okay. So okay, we're just gonna get straight into it. So the first question is, what type of hate do you face?
the type of hate that I face is jealousy. Yeah, jealousy with a dash of hatred. And it's because people just don't feel secure in themselves. So when people don't feel secure in themselves, they feel like they gotta bash other people to lower their standards. But when you know who you are and you're comfortable in your skin and been doing it for so long, it's just like, who cares? I mean, I'm still here. I'm gonna be. They're gonna talk about me when I'm gone and dead and gone some more. So
Yeah,
I mean, what does it really matter to me?
right, exactly, exactly. I mean, people always it's weird because jealousy is as another topic that I forgot about when it came to hatred, and that's something that people really like. that really is a hate thing because people really get mad and they really be jealous enough to the point where they can hate you. So that's crazy that anybody has dealt with that. Well, we can move on to the next question. It is, what are the actions behind the hatred towards you?
Not so much now. I'm not sure what's going on in the world, so I don't actually have those issues anymore. But from a younger standpoint, it would be probably the throwing of a cup of tea. I will either get into fights with boys because they got some information about me misconstrued, or it'll just be endless arguments. So people who you think is your friends is not your friends, and going behind your back doing like real shicey stuff.
Mm,
So,
yeah. Hold on. So you said somebody threw some pee on you?
mm, yes. So I was, this had to be my junior year of high school. Yeah, no, my sophomore year of high school. And I'm walking home because I was doing a double shift. I used to work part time at 7-Eleven. So I'm walking home, and the road that goes to the train station here to Edison Road Subway Station is nothing but street lights, but a ton of woods and woods areas.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody could just try to snatch you up, or potentially throw something at you if they think you're one thing than you are, or think you should portray yourself something different. So yeah, I've had it done to me, and I've had some shit, but I'm here, I'm human. Life is gonna happen, but I ain't no punk.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you
And,
gotta pick your battles wisely.
yeah, and you definitely tough for taking some damn pee, goddamn it, because I would have
I
been,
was
I
just
would
glad it
still
didn't
been
go
in
in my
jail.
mouth. I was just glad it did not go in my mouth. I
Oh
was
wow.
absolutely glad, because I was just like, and I'm big on germs too, on like certain real shit. It's just, no, I'm not a water sort of person that at all. That yeah, that had me heated.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. That worked for me. Okay. So question number 3: finding a solution. Is there a solution to it?
Um, I wouldn't say it's much of a solution because that means you really solved the issue. I would say more of a guided map.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I guess because I have simmered down a lot from how I used to be, running the streets all the time, hanging out, every party. Now it's very just, I want my seclusion. So I honestly don't be out as much as I used to. So I don't face half of that stuff, not even at my government job. And damn sure not at the strip club. But yeah, I don't face those issues anymore.
Okay. All right, that works. That works. That works. That works. I mean, I would say, in a rebuttal for that. I mean, when I mean solution, it's like, could there be a solution? You know what I'm saying? Is there a possible way
I
that you can try
mean,
to say that anything that will probably help out with that situation, so people wouldn't like do the shit that they do?
I would say, as my great auntie would tell me, you have to be programmed to reprogram. So
Mm-hmm.
don't base yourself off of what society tells you or teaches your parents to teach you,
Right.
that that's how you're supposed to show up or love somebody or just show your appreciation. There's other ways than anger. Um, I would feel like the best thing that I could advise somebody is just, even though it's a hurtful thing, also kind of give them grace because they really don't know who they are. But at the same token, don't let nobody push you over. So it's just, I guess, a balance of it. Like, you ain't no punk. You can split your shit up, but at the same token, trying to give grace and think in a different light. Like,
Mm-hmm.
think what that person probably is going through. And it's not saying that it's useful, any of the shit that they do, but just kind of put yourself in their shoes, because we think we have it worse, and then somebody really can have it like 10 times worse than me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I like that
Mm-hmm.
you said that. I appreciate you for saying that for our people. All right, for the fourth question, it is: do you share any of this hate?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I can wholeheartedly say absolutely not. For Christ's sake, I still freaking talk to my ex in the sense of just a friendship. He's moved on. But I remember it was a day I couldn't stand the ex. Like, I would get gutted with an ex if I seen him. So, yeah, no.
Okay, okay. All right, so this part right here is the time where you can shed light on your situation and address the general people that you're talking about, you know what I'm saying, the situation, call them out, and then you can just address the issue towards them.
Mm, who else had an issue with? Honestly, I'm sorry. That part's gonna be a little dull because I do a lot of self love and self healing. So it's just like I really don't have people who I still have hatred to. Ask me this question probably 10 years ago. It would be everybody, every person that's done me wrong. But at this place, I've made my peace with a lot of people. So
Right,
I'm serious. I don't have those issues. I'm sorry.
right. I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's understandable. I mean, I can address the issue of jealousy. It's not okay to be jealous. You know what I'm saying? It's never really okay to be jealous. Anybody out here who feel like that, I feel like it should be no reason for a person to be jealous. You should be able to identify with who you are, because a jealousy means that you're not focusing on who you are. You're not worried about who the person is that's being mad right now. Because once you start figuring out who you are and what you got going on with your life, you're not going to be worried about the person you're jealous about no more. It's no longer going to
Absolutely,
be that
absolutely.
issue for that. So therefore, I would definitely be address. I definitely address that in that aspect of that situation, because a lot of people have to deal with a lot of jealousy, and I know me personally, I do deal. I have dealt with jealousy in my life, and you know what I'm saying. It's been treacherous. You know what I'm saying. I just don't understand. Like, it's like, why are you so worried, and why
I'm
are you
telling you,
so
people have the what's the thing that I've seen on Instagram? People know you more than you know you. I'm just saying, like people realize know you more than you know you. And I forgot I could have sworn I was the only me.
yeah,
But you know,
yeah. And when it comes to that jealousy, a lot of people don't realize that that's hatred. Like, you're hating. You're a
yeah.
hater. All this stuff means hatred. You're a hater. You're
But
sitting here.
in retrospect of what I said earlier, you know, when you don't have the love for yourself, you don't know how to show it to other people. So you show it in the ways that you think that's love. Because that's what I'm saying. If real life be like that, like people hate you, but real life love you. They just don't know how to say it.
Yeah,
It is what it is. So what can
yeah.
I
I used to tell people, in
say?
order to hate somebody, you have to have some type of love for them. It might be a different type of love that you probably want to expect, but love is a variation of a whole bunch of things. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people a lot of people won't realize that until they identify it. And I had a big argument with them. No, because if you hate somebody, it's the opposite of love. Yeah, it's the opposite of love. That's like saying good and bad is opposite, but technically, good and bad is in everybody. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
therefore,
yeah, they
to
gang. You got
love
it's
somebody,
hard.
yeah,
You gotta hate them. Just
yeah,
what it is.
to
I'm
love
just
somebody,
saying.
you gotta hate their ass sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? Like, goddamn, I can't stand your motherfucking ass, but it's only because I love you. You know what I'm saying? And I hate your ass because I love you too much and I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? It's the same fucking thing. You mad because you like
I'm
me.
just
You
saying.
mad because you like the shit I'm doing. Okay, you love the shit I'm doing, so you mad. I get it.
It happens. It happens.
Yes, yes. I thank you for coming. I definitely thank you for coming out and giving me this time of your day. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you so much. Is it any place that anybody can follow you, or anywhere that they can go and look at you?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity. And you guys can go follow me on Instagram. That is Mikey, Mikey underscore star STAR Joe, J-O.
All right, all right. Is there any last words you want to give to the audience?
This guy right here, he's a genius. You have to tune into his shows, or even better yet, just be on the show. He has absolutely juicy topics that's gonna have you rambling and debating and laughing for hours. So you do not want to miss the next show.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know what? You're a fucking ball of joy. You know that? Y'all, this motherfucker is a
Thank you.
ball of joy, y'all. I swear. I just.
I'm trying to tell you, like, I'm serious. Like, not saying that nobody got a worse story than me, but it's just like when you deal with so much shit and then you really find a place to zen and just love yourself and just love on yourself. I'm telling you, shit can't phase you.
You better know it. And
Shit cannot phase you.
I'm a speaker of self. You know, I have another show coming out called Seeking Self Solutions. And that's all about teaching people how to love
See,
themselves and all that
look,
stuff. Yes.
see, you trying to hire me? You trying to hire me? Is this an interview? Did I call? Where is the camera? Am I being caught?
Is this an interview? I mean, no,
Look,
definitely.
hey, I'm here for it. I've never done this podcast stuff, so
Yeah.
if I make good content, I wouldn't know what to talk about. So.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, you did great. You did great. And I want y'all to also go check out my late night talk show where you can see him live on video, cutting up and having fun. You know what I'm saying? The first episode, he jumped in there, and he's been on the second one as
I'm
well.
just
So.
saying because like the topic was very juicy. I'm just saying we was on some very controversial things there.
Yeah, yes, definitely. I mean, you know what? People keep telling me I picked the right things to ask. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. It took,
Look, you really
and it
do.
definitely was work. It was definitely time I took into it and figured out what I really wanted the world to hear and what needs to really be said to people. You know what I'm saying? So I took my time and I did it. I have millions of episodes, so you're
I'm just
definitely able
saying
to get
I
on
I
any
found
one
out
of them.
late. I found out late, but I'm finding out, and it's juicy.
Yeah,
It's juicy. Y'all better tune in. Y'all better tune in. Y'all better tune in.
well, thank you so much for that. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Just let me know. Let me know. For the next show, I'm there.
Okay, all right.
All right. Peace out.
All right, y'all. I thank y'all so much for coming on and listening to this podcast. This is the end. I want y'all to know that we now stream on YouTube. We stream on Twitch. We do our sipping talks around either 5, 6, or 7. I mean, it varies. 9 o'clock, I try to do. I said sipping talks around the time. 9 o'clock is sipping talk. I sit down, so it's around 7, 8, 6, maybe. You know, after listening to these people's stories, which I appreciate them, I actually got more light on actually what it was for hatred. I got a little add on to it because people feel different things. And that was definitely said on this one. And I want everybody to know that I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for sticking in and actually listening to this. This is something that, I prize with myself. And I feel like, you know, I have a lot of hatred going towards me doing this. And it's going to be somebody who doesn't want me to be doing what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, I do this because I want everybody to realize that we're all human, regardless of anything. And we, the united, can come together and have a conversation without caring about what a person thinks or how they think, because at the end of the day, this is nothing but Americans talking on a podcast. Regardless of what they is, how they is, what it is, we all live here. We all are here. This is who we is. This is what we get our money from. This is the people who making the money. This is the people who's feeding us. These are the people who are taking care of us in the hospitals. They're everywhere. We're everywhere. It's nothing but humans in this world. So at the end of the day, once we start realizing that and we understand that, and it really doesn't matter about anything else, but the fact that this is another living, breathing human by you. Humans are able to do whatever they want to do, and they're going to do whatever they want to do. But you also a human, so you can do whatever you want to do. And I would give y'all just say this. Do whatever you want to do, but when you actually do this thing, make sure it's something that you won't regret. Make sure it's something that you actually feel like you're doing. Make sure it's not something that somebody else is feeding into you. make sure that you are actually able to accept the thing that you do. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that one. Thank y'all for watching this show. Um, it was a good journey, and I appreciate it. And I thank everybody for being here, y'all. Like, I don't even know how to feel anymore with even it being my fourth episode. So y'all gotta forgive me. Um, I, I'm a little in awe with my life right now. So I thank y'all so much for being here. And we are the United. So we're going to raise our hands, reach out, and we're going to be united.